Hi, I'm back. I'm Jill with Copycat Crafts by Jill, and we're on part three. Part three of my series on recreating this folio. And today we're going to be working on the inside of the pocket. We're going to be putting this pocket in and this pocket in. So that's what we're going to be working on. These papers were from an Etsy shop called Vibe of Vintage. That's where I got these. And also, to recreate this, I am also still using digitals from Vibe of Vintage, as well as these little crafty cuts, which are her digital. She has a digital kit that you do need a Cricut if you buy this digital cutouts, because you need a Cricut. You won't be able to cut out all the, I mean, it's a ton. It's a lot. I love it. So I had my husband cut out a whole bunch, which brings me to, what are these made out of? Well, when I go to Goodwill and I see any of the like file folder envelopes or anything file foldery, these were there in a stack a couple weeks ago. And as you can see, I picked them up. It said there were 7. They were $3.99. That's what I'm using. But if it's brown, I pick it up. And you know what I mean, ladies. Come on. But that's what I'm using for all this. And what I like is when you dirty them up. I really think that's cool. And I think it's grungy. And once I put, I started brown here and brown here and here. I had a black tab here. It was already glued in, and I thought, well, I think I should go with the brown. So I had my black tab on, and I just found the brown tab and glued it on right over it. And I did trim the edges off the original black one because it was too long. So then I just put Velcro on the opposite side. So that's how that got brown, with a black center. And then I just added this little piece of, this tiny little piece with a brad that also does not go through. That brad does not go through to the other side. I just put that on, little decorative piece, which I love to do, and that's why I kind of redug out all these brown pieces. So, also one other thing, I just got this little straight corner cutter. It is not a round corner, straight corner cutter. It is 3-in-1 corner punch, KM 6630 by Cami, I guess Cami. On the back, it shows like rounded corners, but this is straight, and I wanted straight. But I'm not sure if you can see and get a snapshot of that. But if not, there it is, Amazon, $7.99. I've heard some creators not really care for it because this little corner really is little, and the medium probably is too small for most, unless you're doing a small tag like this. I think it's perfect. I wanted it for this, the large, and that is the one I'm going to use most, is the large. For some creators, they feel that that is not large enough. I happen to feel it's large, plenty large. Can't keep sticking it in. and I got it for that. I really like it. For me, I cannot take the corner I cut off, flip it over till I drop it. Now I don't know which way it was supposed to be on. I make a mess of that. I have an old credit card or debit card. I cut the corner and I try that. I still manage to get them crooked. I'll probably get them crooked with this, but at least it's easier. I probably won't drop it as much. Okay, so we'll move along. What we want to do, we're going to glue this on later because we have to glue the flap on the front of this, and that's easier to do without this whole thing glued on. So we're just going to put that aside for now. And since I needed 2 pockets, one for in here and one for over here, lucky for me, all my pieces of paper, once I cut off the border, are the same size. All I have to do is cut how big or small I want them. So I cut them out. I did not ink them yet. I picked this one for in here, and I rounded the corners because I rounded the corners here and here. So I just thought I'd round those corners. And I picked this one for over here. And if you want, you can add gussets on the bottom, the back, and the top. On these 3 sides, you can add gussets. When I cut the border off and it's that large, that long, I can't just fold that and make gussets. I have to add gussets. So I don't think I will. There's really no need to add gussets. Plus, I was kind of hoping I could do another sort of little decoration of some sort on the top. Now, on the original, on my original, I made it so you can see the notches, and there's 3 separate pockets. So there's actually glue in between to make 3 separate pockets. On this one, even though I have it as 3 notches, I am going to leave it as one big pocket so that you can still put in 3 tickets, or you can use it as one large pocket. I just think that makes it a little bit more versatile. So that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So I have to ink these 2 pieces. I don't remember now in part 2 if we folded that, but we should have scored and folded that in part 2. I kind of got, I had like a setback with when I uploaded the very first part 1, and then there was no sound 9 minutes in, and so I deleted it, and then I re-uploaded it, and same thing. It still had no sound, yet on my phone it had sound the whole entire video. So that's what was really confusing me. And after 2 days and many hours of frustration and not understanding anything, I accidentally tripped over a video from 12 years ago. And the man was explaining about uploading a video, and once it was uploaded onto YouTube, the sound was gone. And he was doing it through a computer. I film on my phone and I upload right to YouTube from my phone. And I don't even have any special editing apps or anything. The only editing app on my phone is the gallery picture editing thing. So I'm very limited. But when I would watch my video from my gallery on my phone, it had sound all the way through. He mentioned something about having to change how loud your video when you record it, because YouTube only allows you to upload certain, not decimals, I'm not even sure what he called it. And I didn't even know if any of that pertained to me, but I thought, well, he has the same problem. And he changed the volume on his video and made it lower, less volume. So I put my video into the editing on my phone, found the volume, lowered the volume, re-uploaded it, and then I had sound all the way through. So perhaps that was my problem all the way around since the beginning, was if I video while I'm making a video, if I have my volume up too high on my phone, then when I go to upload it, YouTube will only upload up to like 10 minutes and then it stops uploading sound. So I don't know if I'm the only one in the whole entire world that had that problem, but if you have that problem, try that fix. Turn your sound down when you're filming a video. Okay, so here are my two pieces. Here's our base. Let me close this. Open this. And I wanted this here. So I am going to get my 3-in-1 glue by Beacon. It's like Fabri-Tac, and it is it does have a smell because it's acetone based, so it smells like nail polish remover. And always hold the side you don't want glue on. So it does have a bit of a smell, but it always allows me to have some wiggle room, and I can kind of slide it around. And I need that. I definitely need that. All right. You definitely want to put it where it's not going to infringe on anywhere that needs to fold around it. So that includes your top flap. That includes your bottom flap. And that includes this side. Now, if you're worried, I'm not worried about my flap. If you're worried that the flap isn't enough and you would want a little bit more flap, you can score it in more, because this side, when it folds over, it does not have to come completely to your score mark. If this is a little short, another 1/8 short or 1/16 short, no one would know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt anything. This is all closed. So this doesn't have to reach all the way over to that side. So you could put another score mark and have this flap kind of have a little bit of a spine on the flap. If you do that, then you really might want to put a gusset all the way around so that you can even fit more in the pocket. I also wanted, just trying to get out of my own way here, when I close it, I wanted to see the notches, because when I put something in there, I want that to show a little bit, just a hint. So that is on purpose. It's how the original one is made, and I definitely wanted to keep that. Okay, as you can see, I marked it with the third pocket because it's the third one on the third side of the folio. Okay. And again, you want to make sure you're not getting it on the score line, because you definitely want to be able to fold fold it over. Okay, then this will come like that. Now I made these for this side. This was made for string. You don't have to use string. You can use Velcro. You can use any type of closure you want. I use string. I do want to reinforce these. So I have to dig them out with my little tweezers, and these little tiny hole reinforcers, which are what I've been using. These are also from the Crafty Cuts from Vibe of Vintage. In her digital Crafty Cuts, cuts out like 50 of these, and then like 50, or I didn't count, so I don't know how many, that are slightly bigger. And I love these things, so I was having my husband cut them out. But I do want to reinforce these little pieces, and I have them in 3 sizes because we made a mistake, and I have these really tiny ones, which, believe it or not, I will use. Okay, so I have 2. The top, which will be these, I will need 2 for each hole. 1 on the top, 1 on the... No, I won't. I don't need 1. And 1 on these too. Yep. Okay. Alright, well then I'll just leave them here. That might be good then. I do like to put a little ink on them. So let's get them back up here. All I have to do now is sneeze, right? Alright, what did I do with my... Here it is. Okay, so I am not worried about, you know, I just want to get some dark ink on them. I just want to dirty them up. So that's what I'm doing. I can always tell by my thumbnail how much dirtier it is when I'm inking little stuff. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay, somebody find that. Oh, right there it is. Right there. What the world? Okay. Really? I don't lose them like this when... Oh, who am I kidding? I probably do. I probably do. Just like to get a little bit of color on them so that they're not sticking out like a sore thumb. Oop. All right, get my glue. You don't even, you know, need, this is more for decoration. If you don't have a Cricut and you want to use the bigger ones, but you don't want to put them on the front because they may be too big, or you might have to make your own, you can just put them on the back. That way you still get the extra support and you don't have to worry that they're not matching, or just, I like to do it right on front. Okay, one more. This is probably the one that gives me all the trouble. Right there. Probably. Okay. Okay. All right, we'll just set them aside. Those are for over here. These ones are going to go like this, actually. But I have to put the string in them first. These are going to fold in half and go over here. And they'll be folded in half. So I can bring out my scoreboard, get a feel for, so around 3/4 is half, and because this is so short, I definitely don't want bigger on this side, so I'm definitely going to do them at 3 1/4. I mean at 3/4. Okay. Before I can glue any of them on, I have to decide to put my string on. And instead of black, although I was going to use black, I'm going to get black and brown, and I'll see which one I like. I also have blue, so that was luck. All right. Let's see, the black is thicker though. The black is thicker, so wish I had thicker brown, but I do not. I like the brown. I'm gonna do one in brown, and then if I don't like it, I'll do it in black. Just cut off a whole bunch. And I believe when I was doing it for the first one, now you can do these any way you enjoy doing them. I guess I want about that. I'd rather have a little too much. Then I pull that through. And knot it. Then I can trim that piece off. And there it is. Now I'm going to do that also to the one of the tab side and see if I like it. There's times where I'll pick a string to use in my journal or my folios, and because I know not everyone wants, you know, what I like, I'll send along extra string in case it, you know, if they ever knot it and they have to cut it off, they get extra string, or I'll send along different string in case I want to change it out. Okay. Oop. Oop, hold on. Oh, I do have to, no, I don't. Yes, I do. I guess I did put it through the whole thing. I did put it through the whole thing. That's easier yet. However, I will need 2 more things. 2 more of those. So let me dig them out. Not the littlest. This. Do 2 more and glue them on. Does help if I would just bring it out and look. That would help. Okay, that's enough. Whoop. I guess before I glue them on, I have to, my ink pad is, I have to decide where I want them. And I have to put the holes in them. This is the one I used to put the holes in. Whoop. So I could actually use my pencil. Maybe that would be smarter. Just mark it, not. It's going to punch through the hole, but. Now let me get this in my light. I can see. Hopefully it's close. Put this to the outside. Same with this one. Get my little. Okay. Easy, easy. Just helps to get the glue all over on the bottom. All right. Well, then I'm going to glue these in first. So I want them about in the center here. Just put my string across it like that. Kind of gives me a feel for where the center is, so that's how I'll do it. But better put my pin in my glue. And when I glue these down, you can glue all the way around. I glue to here like that in case anyone does ever want to swap out the string. You still can. Okay, so this is where it gets a little, and it's really too eye. We don't have to. Okay. Put the string on this one. This one. Let's see. I'll just cut more string. I really like the brown with this, but I'm just not sure if this is going to be long enough, thick enough rather. Just kind of measuring what I got here. Can always be trimmed, so I don't. I'd rather make it a little extra long. Okay. Sometimes working with such tiny or thin is a challenge for me, but we just take our time, work through it. Okay, trim that. Put it in the center here, like that. And again, just in case I decide I don't want the brown or I want thicker, I'm not going to glue it around the hole. No need. Okay. About right there. Just work it in where we want it. Okay. Then turn these, because when I put the smaller piece down, I need to mark it where I need the hole. So just want to pull this, see if that's about straight, then that's about straight. That's where I want the hole. Same with this one. Put it over here. Okay. I'm gonna call that about straight. I'm gonna turn it this way because I have to be able to see it in the light of where I want it. Okay. I'm just going to put the glue on this. Oh, why am I putting glue on it? I don't want glue on it. Do I? Not yet. I want to make sure it fits before I go. Glue on it. Yep. Yep. You always have to make sure it fits because that's all I need. Okay, yep, they fit perfect. Is to smear glue all over everything and then find out, nope, doesn't fit. Okay. We want a little bit of pressure on the very tip of it so that it's pushed in. We don't want it sticking out where it should not be sticking out. Okay. Okay, now we need our string. I'm going to do it the same way. Stick it through. Okay, that's going to be really long. So we'll probably trim that a little. Give that a little trim. Okay. Now I liked mine kind of, you know, with a little loose like that. You don't have to. You can knot them right up to the, knot them right up. You do not have to leave them loose. I like them loose. I don't know why. Okay, one more piece. Okay. All right. Okie dokie, not too bad. There we go. There we go. They are on. And because I better wait before I go tying them. Give that glue a good chance to set. So we'll just... Okay, now over here, I put on like a decoration like on my first one. Kind of like that. And I did... whoop, hold on. Digging it out. Whoop, digging it out here. I put on a little one so I could slip in a little card. This one I made, I can make smaller. I don't even have to use this one at all. I could actually use a double one. I just didn't ink it yet. Could use a smaller one. You could also add another flip up and put a pocket underneath and give it a cool shape. We could do that. But before we add more to that, we're going to do the pocket. And I had this piece set aside for the pocket. Okay, I'm sure since that's gray, I was going to do blue. And I didn't cut it into place or anything. Okay, here's the pocket. So if I do the blue, I do have a choice. I just put that one aside in case I wanted to use that one. I have this one. I have this one. No, I think I'll stick with what I have. Yep. I'm going to stick with one of these. So, this one goes this way. Let's see. I actually like... do I... No, if I turn it sideways, I don't... I don't like that. It's between that and that. Okay. Now if I do that though. Alright, we're just going to do this. We are doing it. Okay. So, on this one, I made it pretty much the exact size. So, for me, let's get down behind the... So, it would be about here. So, I will cut this part off. Then this part is what would get ripped. So... need to trim it, we will trim it. Okay, now this corner will get rounded, and then that's when I know exactly where this one ends. Let me put my... But I have to put a 1/4 or 1/2 inch hinge, so we're going to do that. Alright, so this is the top, so I probably want, I think it's only a 1/4 because I'm gonna go this way because it's not, it doesn't matter how far down it goes, the hinge is the same, so I'm gonna go with a 1/4, that way I don't lose too much of the numbers up front. After did I round that corner, or if not, I think I'm still gonna round both. Just this one. Maybe I shouldn't. Okay, executive decision. No. Okay, trying to do it without. It's going to need inking. Just going to get my bone folder. Now I round the corner. And mine is very hard to round on a double. But there. Okay. Get that out of the way. I was going to ink it, but before I ink it, I want to see. I'll bring this one back in. I started, left that flat, and then I just started to rip down this way, and I wanted a fairly decent amount. So if I'm fairly sure, I might have even cut some off. And I want a tab, so I'm definitely going to nip a little bit off, but I definitely want about the same amount. So right about there, but I do want to nip some off because I want to put a tab on it. So I don't know if that's going to be quite enough. Let's check. It'll be here. Let's get a tab and try. It will be about here. I'm just going to take off a hair more. Just a hair. Skosh. Yep. Okay. Then I want about that much. And I want about that much. So I know I want to rip it from here to here. Maybe I'll start down here, find my mark, and I just gonna rip. No, and then up here, just gonna rip. You don't have to, no rhyme or reason. And then I rip this out. And I like to keep a tiny bit because I like to really darken it. Because that part really soaks up the ink. Whoop, oh, I wanted to keep a little more than that, but it is what it is. Okay. So that will go like that. I want to ink it up really well. So let's get our ink out. Okay, if you're not inking, you may want to close your eyes. This may be this may be very upsetting. For some reason, I almost wanted like that burnt look. So I just want to nip that right there. There we go. And so I really wanted to ink dark and hard. Now we're not going to ink the other side yet. Well, I can here, but because I want to put a pocket in, so we're just going to ink along here. And here. Because I really wanted that to kind of just almost look like it at some point. Got caught on fire and just, okay. So here is where we're going to put a pocket. Okay. Put that closed. Going to get a pocket. Go like that. Okay, let's find a piece for our pocket. With here, just a plain pocket. I just need, what is it? Just was gonna go quickly look through, see if I had any don't know if I was going to use brown. I think I'll use blue. So that means I can dig out one of the pieces that do not have, that one has printing on the back, and then it doesn't matter. I just wanted something in blue. And those are both the same blue, and this one's different, I think. Okay, so maybe that blue right there. Some of that. So how much do I want? Well, it can't come past there. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking here. That's where I want it to end. I'll put that in there. Okay. So this one will go in here. So I will need to trim it above my score line, and then the corner will get rounded. So let's see where I need to trim it. Oops, sorry if I just got my head in the way. I'll take my measurement from after the round. And it has to be before that score line, or you'll just not be able to move the flap. So gee, do I really want to cut off the bottom? Yes, I will. It's not a major loss to lose that little bit. So you really are better off a hair short rather than a hair long. Then this is the corner that will get rounded. And we have to think a lot of steps. Okay. Just want to make sure that I get all those white edges covered. Okay. Glue that on. Move this out of the way so I don't get all that glue on top of that. Again, we want to hold it where we don't want glue, so we don't want glue here, we want glue here. Right there. Fit like that. And you definitely want to make sure that your flap can move above this piece, otherwise it won't work nice. Okay. I don't like to put not quite enough on. All right. Here we go. Get that on. Whoop. Wait, let me move it up a hair. There we go. And over here. There we go. That's where we want it. No, wait. Some seepage of glue. I just want to move it up if I can a hair. Okay, let me bring all this down. This will get put and glued right here. Whoop, so let's do that, and then we'll call it a session. Okay. Again, I apologize if I get my head in the way. Okay, whoop. Stop moving it, Joe. Okay. Fold that in. Probably should have did that till it was more dry. But that's how it will look. Pretty cool. I'm gonna let it dry. Okay, just gonna let it dry for a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna tie those little bows and we'll get a look at it. Okay, so we have the flap on, opened. All we have to do is glue this part on. Whoop. That's not glued on upside down. And we'll let it all dry. I think that would be very, very nice. Okay. We still have a few things to do. We have a small pocket to put in on this page on the bottom. I wanted to wait till we glue that in to do that, so we have that to do. And a little bit of decorating. Like to jill it up a little. So we'll do that. But first we just want to let it get good and dry. And there it is. Okay. Just want to lift that up out of the way. That up. We still have all the tabs to put on. So we have a little bit to do. Here's where I want to put a pocket in yet. We have all the little tabs and decorations, so we have a little bit to do yet. But there it is. And then put some stuff in it so that it looks really cool. Yes, we still have the closure. I'm going to do another closure like that, but you can do whatever kind of closure you want. Pretty cool. Okay, well, I think I'll have another one uploaded in a day or two, which would be part 4, so pay attention for that. In the meantime, stay creative and hugs.